Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren work to help a family terrorized by a dark presence in their house. Forced to confront a powerful entity, the Warrens find themselves in the most terrifying case of their lives. This is my review of The Conjuring. The first time I knew anything about The Conjuring was when I saw the first trailer, the teaser trailer of The Conjuring, and it just showed that one scene of them playing like blind tag or whatever, or clap tag, and then the last shot of the mother looking down the staircase, the dark staircase with a match, and then the hands coming from behind her. Like, when I saw the teaser trailer, I was like, oh man, I gotta see this movie. And when I saw that it was directed by the same guy who did the first Saw and Insidious, and I was like, yep, I'm definitely gonna see this because I like those movies as well. Now, after seeing The Conjuring, I can tell you that it is a really good horror film, or thriller film, whatever you want to call it. The good points. I liked the directing by James Wan and the camera shots as well because they built the tension really well towards the scary parts of the film, and I wasn't curled up in my seat, I was like taken back in my seat. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna happen, and it didn't happen. I was like, oh come on, like, and you move forward a little bit and then it happens, like, oh, whoa. But yeah, James Wan did a good job at directing. I thought that the acting was pretty solid. It's above good, but it's just below excellent, so it's solid. I mean, everybody did a great job at acting, the main cast and the supporting cast, and I thought that the children actors and actresses of this film did a good job because they convinced me that they were like really scared and everything. I like the costumes also because this movie takes place during the 70s and it has to feel like the 70s, and with the costumes and the sets included, helped to make that come true, and it really felt like it was in the 70s. With the soundtrack also, with like songs from the 70s. The bad points. There were some parts in the film where it used visual effects, and during some parts of the film it was needed, but during some other parts it wasn't needed. I was like, why do you need visual effects for that? Couldn't you just use like practical effects for that? Yeah, there's one scene, it's not gonna spoil anything, but there's this rocking chair and it like floats up in the air, and yeah, this is when it's practical, floats up in the air and practical. But when it like flies towards like a doorway, it becomes like visual effects, and it's like, you don't really need visual effects for that. And there's this part with some birds, and the birds didn't really look realistic. Another thing is that the whole movie, I guess you can say in a way, wasn't original, because there have been other films that like this, like Poltergeist and Amityville Horror, and I can see some elements from those films like put into this film, and at points it made the film just a bit predictable, like not like overall predictable, but just a tiny bit predictable, because we've seen the same thing in like Poltergeist or Amityville Horror. So I saw this movie with my sister and my dad. My dad gives it a 3.25 out of 4 stars. My sister gives it the same score, a 3.25 out of 4 stars. And I slightly deduct from their scores, and I go a 3 out of 4 stars. I thought it was a really good horror/thriller type of movie, but like I said before in the bad points, there are some moments where it's like, oh, I've seen this sort of before. And don't worry, I'm not gonna spoil anything for you because you need to see this movie for yourselves. It's worth the money for sure. And that's it.